Today, we learn that 1.7 million people should have been shielding all along. This is as with the... You remember when I got it and I'd lost my sense of taste and smell and it still wasn't actually an official symptom? And again, that's nobody's fault. It's such a shame that we arrived at this period in our national history when false certainty had been fetishized to the point of, well, Brexit. And I found it odd that it wasn't there because it was so obviously a symptom of it. And now it is an official symptom. So there's no blame attached to that. You learn that the only crime, the only offence is not learning from things that change, not learning from previous mistakes. And of course, as a very wise man once said, not changing your mind when the facts change. And so 1.7 million people is an astonishing figure. And they were told yesterday that they should shield. I worry that this story hasn't got a big enough pickup. And part of that might be because so much of the right-wing media, so many right-wing newspapers, owned, of course, by incredibly rich men, have been flirting with so-called lockdown scepticism. And the reason why scientists have told these people to shield is because they've used a new model to spot those most likely to suffer severe coronavirus or death. So anybody last year, and I stress, and I'm not being facetious, there is no retrospective blame attached to this element of lockdown scepticism because it was stupid and wrong from the start. So just yet more evidence that it was stupid and wrong. It doesn't create a new offence. But if you called last year for the 2.2 million people on the list as being vulnerable to be somehow locked up and protected and insulated from the rest of society while everybody else went back into the public space, back to, quotes, normal, end quotes. The fact you could say that out loud without understanding hospitalizations and illnesses, and without understanding that these people were already shielding. They were already doing more than most of us to insulate themselves from possible infection. But today you've learned that your policy would have sent 1.7 million vulnerable people, 1.7 million people more likely to die or suffer severe coronavirus. You would have sent them tootling out into the street. You would have sent them tootling out into the pubs during Eat Out to Help Out.